So we are back in the workshop. I know a long time I've not posted, but here we are back working on a great project. Now a heads up, I have not yet fully completely uploaded the CNC building series. I'm working on it. It's like 2 months of everyday raw footage that I have to combine and compress into a few 5 to 6 videos, so it is really difficult, but I am working on it. It will be out soon, so just give me a little bit time and those videos will be out as well. But for now, this is just a quick heads up. This is not the CNC that I will be building in that building series. This will be like a little bit of a pro version of that CNC. This will be more like a finished version of that CNC. That CNC was like trial and error method, but after that trial and error method, once it was successful, I went ahead. I was working for a company, and that company actually was really happy about what I was doing in the workshop, and that's why they decided to sponsor this CNC, and they actually helped me to build this particular CNC. They helped me to build in their workshop. So the actual build series that you guys will be watching, the base build and the videos before this video, those I have done here in my workshop, but that was the prototype CNC. And this CNC right here that you can see was built in a different company, a professional multinational company, and I was working for that company as a consultant, and they were really happy and they helped me out with the CNC. So the previous CNC, everything was made out of aluminum and steel, but now it's made out of sheet metal and a couple of small pieces here and there of aluminum, and it looks really nice. But that is not what today's video is about. As you have read the title and you have seen the thumbnail, it is about this guy right here. This is a robotic arm. Now when I say robotic arm, you guys will be always imagining something like a humanoid or a robotic arm. And yes, those are robots, but in real life, actual life usage of those robots are very less. Especially in industries, yes, in most of the industries we use 6-axis robotic arms with those rotational actuators and all, but it is really surprising how much really complicated stuff it can be taken care of by these simple Cartesian robots. And the simple Cartesian robots are really easy to build, comparatively easy to build, and they do a lot of stuff, and they are very rigid. For the same actuators that are used in those rotational axes, if you use them in this configuration, they give out a lot of good working payback. So today I'll be taking you throughout what is going on here. Don't worry, it's not too much complicated and confusing, not too much is going on. There is quite some stuff going on here, but I have just made sure that I have built the basic structure here, and I'm making this video, and later on when the complicated stuff will be coming up, the wiring, the electronics, the panel, you can see the panel right there, all that stuff I will be taking you guys through. So first of all, this is the robotic arm. This whole structure here is the robotic arm. You can see the end effector here. The end effector that we are using for right now is a gripper. And then the CNC is right here. Here is the CNC spindle, and this is the rotary table, because this is a 5-axis CNC. Right now we are not using all the 5 axis of this CNC. We are just using the Z axis, maybe the Y axis and the rotatory C axis. We are not using the B or the A axis. We are using the C axis and the Z axis mostly. Sometimes maybe we'll use the Y axis, but the X axis is not going to be used at all, because this robotic application is for a particular type of CNCs where that X axis won't be there. That's why we have just locked that X axis right there, and we will be using just the Z axis and the rotary C axis. As about the robot, this is a 3-axis robot. It's a 5-axis robot, but I have taken out the 2 axis, the 2 rotational axis here, that was the B and the C axis. I've taken this out, so just to make things a little bit simpler as we begin, and in the further videos as we go on deeper in this project, we'll be starting to make things more and more complicated. We'll be having a really huge programming to be done on this, and we'll be using some machine learning and all in the program. So that's coming up in the videos, but for now this is just a 3-axis robot. That's the z-axis, the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. So that's about the robot and the end effector. As I told you, we are using a simple stepper motor, and this is a 2 mm pitch, 8 mm diameter rod lead screw. That's a 2 mm pitch and a 8 mm diameter lead screw with the NEMA 17 stepper motors. That's all what is about the electronics that is here. And one more thing, one of my friends was asking me just a few days ago, don't get confused when you see a similar kind of setup about these sliders and the lead screw and the motor. You see the same kind of setup here. Don't get confused. These two are very different applications, very different products, very different things. Only the principle of working of the actuators is similar. That's the stepper motor, the lead screw, and the sliders or the guide rails. And that's the same there. But don't get confused. These both are totally different from each other. They are not at all the same. And next, there's the electronic panel. So we will be putting all our electronic controllers, drivers, power supplies, control relays, contactors, everything will be going inside that, and just the wires will be flowing down and they'll be coming up here and connecting to the motors and whatever applications we are going to use those electronics for. And also, these both are separate machines that they need to work together, but we are putting them, all the electronics, into just one cabinet, so that if I have to take just this robot somewhere for a demo or something, I can just take this one and the cabinet. Or if I'm just wanting to take the CNC, I can take the CNC and the cabinet. Or if I want to take both of them, I can take both of them and the cabinet. So the cabinet is like a standalone cabinet for all of them. Right now there are 2 sets of different electronics put for, one for this and one for that, into that. Stuff is getting complicated here, but don't worry, as we go on I'll show you the panel that is right there. I have not yet wired it, I have to still go on, but I wanted to take you guys throughout the whole process, and that's why I have not yet started wiring it. I'll show you guys how it's done in a maybe next video or something. But for now, I just wanted to say that that is a stand-alone panel, and that's why you can see that panel is not being mounted on the CNC. Normally what happens is you just take the panel and mount it with the CNC, such that wherever you take the CNC, the panel comes with the CNC. But right now I have not done that. I have put it on its own stand right there, and it's totally empty right now. I put it on its own stand because both of these guys' electronics will be in the one cabinet itself, so that if I want them both to work together, I can use just one cabinet and everything will work together. Also, I'm not sure whether if I'll have to use 2 different computers or one computer for both, because both have different controllers, and I have purposely done that, and I will explain to you why I've done that in the coming videos. And the serial communication bus or the serial communication method that these use, that is the way that these robot and this machine communicates with the computer, the way that they communicate with the computer is a little different. If we are using CAN bus, we can give different addresses to these guys, and the computer will be able to understand who is speaking with the computer. But that's not what happens with the serial communication that we are doing with these right now, and that is why the computer might not accept either one of them. So once we connect one controller to the computer will be just communicating with one controller and not the other. If we want to go to the other controller, we will have to disconnect this guy and then go to that guy. So I have decided to go to a different approach to these. I will be using the same controller, the same serial communication, but what we will be doing is we will be making one of these guys stand alone. So this guy is going to be just standalone. It's going to keep working itself. We are just going to program it once and for all and dump the program program for whatever application we are using it, and it's just going to keep working its program in the sequence that we have programmed it to work in, and then we will be actually controlling this guy with respect to how this guy is behaving, and that is what is actually main. Now what you see all here is just the test bench. And why I say this is the test bench is the main project that I'm building right here is for programming, for understanding the programming methods and how you can program in simple ways, how you can program a very complicated machine, a very complicated robot. That's the actual project. But to stimulate that in real life and not in the software, there are lots of software stimulations, but what happens is this thing does not happen in the software. So whatever programming you give, the software just goes straight and picks up the material or whatever you have applied it for, programmed it to do, it just does that. But here there are a lot of things. There is wind, there is heat, there is humidity, there is temperature, there is the gravity. Everything is working on this, and plus human error. That's what you can see here. This is human error. And when there is human error in a robot, you have to adapt your programming to that error. You have to give a little bit of tolerance to that error that is there, and that's what we are actually going to be learning by having a test bench. So we have all this hardware is just very simple, but what actually is going to be very complicated is our programming. So that's what is going on for right now. So hardware is really simple. What we are actually going to bring up the complications in is the software.